You are what you think. The way we think determines how we act and how other people will treat us. When we start knowing ourselves, then this thing reflects that how people will act in front of us. Same thing happens when we know how important we are, then we show ourselves as important and people also consider us important. One night, a son told his father that he was playing the character of the Lone Ranger in his school play. Father was very excited and happy after hearing this. Then the boy said that there is only one problem, that he does not have a hat. Father immediately went to his room and brought an old cowboy hat. He told his son that this hat will be useful. But the son did not agree. He insisted that only the Lone Ranger hat would suit him, not any cowboy hat. And the father understood exactly what his son wanted. So what you think about yourself becomes your image. What we think about ourselves becomes a motivational tool for us, which helps us to become the exact same person. So think and be. Our mind has more power than we can imagine, so when we use it to decide who we are, just imagine what will happen. Manage your environment. Go first class. In order to save money, a man ate food in a cheap restaurant for 4 months. There was no cleanliness in that place, the food was rubbish and the service was bad, but to save money, the man used to eat silently without complaining. One day his friend invited him for lunch at the best restaurant in town. There his friend ordered the businessman's lunch, then that man also ordered beans. The man was surprised to see what happened after that. Nice food was served in front of him. Service was also very first class, nice environment. And the biggest thing is that the price here was just a little more than what he was paying in that cheap restaurant for the last 4 months. That man had got a great lesson. To be first class, you have to behave like first class. We should not stop ourselves from enjoying life. First class means best, and that is what we want to be. Think about yourself that you deserve first class service, first class job, first class salary and first class life. Don't let small thinking people become an obstacle in your way. Be with people who are positive and who have first class way of thinking. Believe in yourself that you can become first class everywhere and in everything. Make your attitude your friend. Attitude is everything. Right attitude only leads us towards success. What is there in an optimistic and motivated person? What is there in a self-centered, negative and ungrateful person? So attitude is like our friend in a way. If we develop it in a right way, it can help us reach the heights of success. During the World Olympics, a new sword-fighting boy had a fight with an all-time winner, in which he won the world fencing champion by defeating the all-time winner. There was a lot of difference between the two. Because the all-time winner had reached this point after many years of practice and experience, but the new boy gave his best performance and had a very close fight with the champion. The game became tough after every round, and when both reached the last round, there was a tie between the two. Both the players were given a short time. The new swordsman was struggling hard to win. He kept saying only one thing to himself: I can do this, I can do it. And in the final round, the boy's positive attitude and strong motivation opened the way for him to win, and in this way he defeated the all-time champion and became the champion himself. Since then he has become famous as the "I can do this" man of the Olympics and has inspired other athletes all over the world. When our attitude is focused on positivity and goodwill, we can never go wrong. We will get success in any situation. It is our attitude that leads us towards maximum effectiveness and generates good results in our career and life. Think right towards people. those people who have the best relationship with their family and friends, those people are the happiest. Or it can also be said that only the happiest people have the best relationships. The connection with the people around us is so important in our success that we should think deeply about how we treat others. An engagement agent called a difficult prospect and asked for an appointment. The agent had just reached the door of that prospect that the man started giving reverse direct remarks. That man went on talking a lot without stopping, and finally he told the agent that after today never again dare to come to his house. The agent kept listening silently, and when the man finished talking, the agent kept looking into his eyes for a few seconds. Then he said in a very soft voice, "But Mr. S, today I will call you as a friend." And the next day the man bought a $250,000 endowment policy from the agent. Our ability to connect and relate with others matters a lot. We should invest in good relationship, because it is very important that we behave with others in a kind and friendly way. And we also have to understand that we should learn to accept the differences and imperfections of others. We always have to do a respected behavior with others without blaming them, no matter how much setback we ourselves experience. Get the action habit, as we mentioned earlier, that the cure for fear is action. Action will not only eliminate fear, but it is also a main factor that an employer sees in an employee. Nothing happens just by thinking, it is the action that generates real and visible results. Mother M also used to do the tasks which women find most unpleasant, like washing dishes, but she had developed a positive approach that how to finish her task quickly so that she could find time for her favorite activities. One day, when there was a pile of dirty utensils in front of a table in front of Mother M, she immediately got up and started carrying some utensils. Some members of his family told him to take some rest first, then clean the utensils. But Mother M was focused and determined. Seeing such a huge pile of utensils in front of her, she did not think even for a minute and got busy with her work. And in no time she was free after washing all the utensils. The most effective way to finish your task is to simply get involved in that task whether you like it or not. Take immediate action on whatever the task is. Do not let negative thoughts enter your mind. How to turn defeat into victory. No one can forget the great Lionel Barrymore in 1936. An accident broke Mr. Barrymore's hip, which never recovered. Later, his condition was worsened by arthritis. But in spite of all this, Mr. Barrymore never stopped doing what he loved. He used to sit in a wheelchair and act. Despite being a savior pen for the next 18 years, Mr. Barrymore played successful roles in many movies, and the two sitting in his wheelchair. He had also played lead roles in many movies, and he has also received the Academy Award for Best Actor. He never let the setback of his life become an obstacle in his path and kept moving forward and achieving success. Defeat is a challenging phase in the life of all of us. Although it is not easy to rise above defeat, but the only way to overcome it is to face it. And realize that you are never defeated in actual. Defeat is simply a state of mind. That's why learn something or the other from every story of defeat. Train yourself to see things in a positive light and destroy the feeling of discouragement. You can learn a lot when you will realize that defeat is not really a good state, so try to get out of this state. Use goals to help you grow. Goal is an objective or purpose. And there is a desire and also a plan by which we achieve success. When you want to achieve something, you set goals. Goal setting is very important because it gives us purpose and motivation to do something. Mrs. D's son was diagnosed with cancer when he was 2 years old. Her husband had also died just 3 months ago. Physician told him that there are little chances of surviving. But Mrs. D, she did not give up. She was determined that she would run her husband's small retail store and send her son to college. He had to undergo many operations, and every time the doctor used to say that he has only a few months left. His cancer was never completely cured, but he dragged on for a few months, so long that 20 years passed. Mrs. D saw her son graduate college, but he died only after 6 weeks. Her goal of being with her son gave her the strength to bear the pain and fulfill her dream of sending her son to college despite her hopeless condition. When you know what your goal is, what is your destination, you start to image a clear path in front of you. If you want to set a goal in life, then write a 10-year goal plan and keep tracking it. Work on one plan at a time. Set your daily and weekly goals. And by doing this you will know how much better person and achiever you can become. How to think like a leader. Princess Diana was considered an influential member of British royalty. In the year 1980, when people started getting to know about AIDS, then the fear of AIDS had spread among the people. People liked to be afraid of AIDS patients because at that time people felt that simply touch someone by doing or using the same toilet seat, they will also get AIDS. But in April 1987, Princess Diana opened the first unit in the United Kingdom for people with HIV and AIDS. During his visit, he shook hands with AIDS patients without wearing gloves. The whole world was shocked by his action, but his gesture changed everyone's perspective about this disease. If you want to be a leader, then think like a leader. Be human in your work and actions, treat people well. Learn to think in a progressive way and take time to evaluate yourself. So friends, with this summary ends here. You will definitely tell us by commenting that how did you like this summary. Thank you my dear, please subscribe this channel.